Bula bula.
Bon dia, and welcome to episode 40. On this one, our guest is a young, gifted comedian and creative YouTuber. With irresistible, contagious laughter, good spirits, and atypical outlook on life, he makes the mundane funny and humor therapeutic. So, please welcome to Kubhula, the hilarious Tino Bacela.
Eu não roubei coisa de ninguém, desculpa lá muito.
Há muito boato, há muita poeira nisto tudo, mas muita poeira. Oh, meu irmão, me deixe em paz, por favor.
Popular de Mozambique.
Pode não ser hoje, nem amanhã, mas um dia vão se deixar vocês. Eu vou falar de brincadeira. Nada, porque eu.
E isto não é um esquema de pirâmide. Isto é uma business opportunity para visionários.
Que andava aí, curto, a dar vinhos, pradas. O gajo que formou a primeira gangue, quem foi? Curtos. Quem foi? Jesus.
Yeah, we in the building.
We out here. Woo woo.
Yeah, man, é para uma sexta-feira.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, man, it's been a long time coming. Hey, push. Yeah, man. How are you doing, man? How are you feeling?
Bro, I'm feeling great. I've been getting incredible sleep, which is very rare.
Ah, é?
Yeah, bro. Mas yeah, I feel amazing.
Tens problemas de insônia?
Bro. Bro, for the longest time. Eu juro que eu pensava que that was the norm.
Yeah.
I used to wake up 4 vezes numa noite. Yeah, randomly. Tipo, when I was in Cape, the weird thing é tipo, quando eu tava em Cape, I used to wake up every night, sem falhar.
Hey.
But when I would come visit home, sleep.
Ferravas.
Bro, yeah, so, yeah, then I came back for good. Já não tô conseguindo dormir aqui
Já
também.
entraste
estás a
naquele
ver?
ciclo,
Yeah, mas agora it's been...
Eu também tenho uns stress de insônia maninhos estranhos. Para mim, acho que eu não consigo desligar do job. Então, sometimes I know that we're gonna be doing like concreting for hours the next day. So I'm anxious for days.
Yeah.
Quando chega aquele dia, tipo à noite, eu vou dormir, durmo. Depois de repente, acordo, tenho um pesadelo, acordo. E estou tipo a acordar e estou a pensar que estão pouring concrete on top of me.
Oh my God, bro.
Start dreaming about steel, about stuff. Então,
Hey, that sounds like a hell of a nightmare.
Ladies and gentlemen, that
shit.
voice you're hearing is our own KK, B City. Was in the capital for some business. And I said, I'm going to the capital for some business.
Been a man.
Yeah, man.
Welcome back, bro.
Epa, thanks, man.
Yeah,
It's always
It's good to have you home.
It's good to be home, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, para quem as pessoas não estão habituadas a ouvir minha voz, mas KK,
Yeah,
Sabak.
it's that deep. It's like that deep
My
voice.
name-
Those radio,
Hello, ladies
those
and gentlemen.
radio apresentadores.
Yeah, the
you know.
anchors.
Yeah, aqui malta, 80% da audience é female.
Ih, brother, sabes, eu vi uma cena um bocado weird na rádio semana passada. Estás a ver, tens aqueles call-up programas que um gajo liga
Yeah.
e diz, eu quero escutar música X, Y, Z. Então um gajo, tipo, o programa é tipo, ligas e dedicas a música, é aniversário. Okay? Então o gajo, tipo, liga e o gajo quero música tal. Ok, é dedicada para quem? É para minha ex-namorada. Ok.
Gotta do it,
ok. Yeah, o gajo fica tipo, ok, minha ex-namorada faz anos. Ok. Depois o apresentador fica tipo, ok, best of luck, boa sorte para a sua é maninho weird.
Hey,
Bro.
bro, that is pretty weird, man.
Hey, maybe he's trying to win her back. Who knows?
Yeah, man, good luck. Eu não sei se uma song na rádio she's gonna be like, oh, you know what? I actually love this dude.
Hey, different expectations, different people, man.
Yeah.
No judgment.
Yeah, to each his own. To each his own.
também acho que
Maybe she's working in a job where the radio's on and it's gonna hit her by surprise. Oh yeah,
yeah.
he still loves me. You know,
Yeah,
like who
Yeah, you
knows,
should
you
pay
know?
attention
Yeah.
to that show. Maybe he's gonna call back. Tipo, muito obrigado pela
Yeah.
ajuda. Já tô de volta com minha ex. Vai namorar.
Não, yeah, true that. O gajo ainda faz uma dedicação, mas
Yeah.
eu só achei estranho o gajo chamar ex, podia chamar tipo
Minha amiga.
Her name, a minha
amiga,
yeah,
ou sei lá o que é o nome, ou então
Nome,
tipo, sei lá, minha muse, o que quiser, mas ex fica um bocado tipo.
Yeah,
That's
pouco
okay.
weird.
Yeah, pelo menos ele não falou do nome, apelido.
Yeah.
Falou do nome.
Falou do nome.
Falou
Bairro.
do nome.
First and last.
Yeah.
Wanda Zanamela, yeah. Vive na rua Dom João Mateus, 750.
Yeah,
Este é
hey.
pra ti.
Depois o gajo foi maninho, tipo, amped about it, like straightforward. Tipo, hey, yeah, é para dar uma X, minha ex.
bro.
Hey, o apresentador ficou tipo, hã? Okay.
Hey, bro, that's weird, man.
Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, it is what it is.
It is what it is. To each his own,
you
man.
gotta
You gotta do what you gotta do.
To each his own,
Yeah, man. Mas yeah.
Yeah, mas por acaso, essa cena que tava já falando de struggling to sleep because you're thinking about the next day. Tem book que eu gravo, author, né? Chama-se Cal Newport. And you know him.
Mhm.
Yeah, one of his big things é shutdown routine. Because of that, tá a ver? I suck at that, bro. I tried, mas tipo, I blame it on eu viver com meus cotas. Because like, once they arrive, my time isn't my time anymore.
Yeah,
Tá a ver?
yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't, é tipo, eu posso estar a jobar and then my mom arrives, vai lá buscar água e sei lá o quê. And ela tá na rua, buscar essa cena, eu voltava a fazer meu shutdown routine, bro. By then, it's gone. Tá a ver?
Yeah,
Mas
yeah.
he talks about the importance of having a time of the day where you're like, there's no more work. Bro.
Yeah.
Estás a ver? So you have a routine. So
No
that
more
your brain-
obligations.
Yeah, porque o problema daqui de nós é que, especially for people in your position, and you have like a boss, sei lá o que,
Yeah.
né?
Yeah, I have a boss, yeah, of
So,
course.
o problema é que they assume that you're available at all times, man.
Yes and no, but yeah, I get your point.
Yeah, that's what they reach out to you. I hear a lot of people complaining about that.
Depends
that's
what job you're into.
Yeah,
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
That's
sometimes I
very
get
true.
calls at 9 p.m., but
Yeah,
it's not
and-
normal.
Yeah,
That's
okay,
not
they're
normal.
good. If it's not the norm, then you have more of an opportunity to
Yeah.
experiment with stuff like that. That's one thing I would suggest.
Hey, bro, também outra cena, like, I actually remember when I was working with, right now I'm working with Chinese, but when I was working with Chinese back then, era uma cena tipo, os gajos, there were no breaks. You
Yeah,
would work
bro.
from time to time, todos os dias. Yeah, tu não tinhas, tipo,
Não tens moment tipo to...
Yeah, mas cena nice é que eu acho que por causa do workout que eu fazia, conseguia descansar, chegava em casa, dormia. Tinha uns
Pass out.
pass out, tinha uns workout sessions muito brutais. Mas
Yeah, we can tell.
Ei, tô pequeno. Mas acho que o workout ajudava maninho. Mas é um stress ter insônia. Depois tu ficas, não sabes o que vais fazer aquela hora.
Bro, man, I feel bad when I'm up at night for like 1 or 2 hours. Eu não tô fazendo nada. So I'm like, oh, maybe I should get my laptop and start writing. Worst decision ever, man.
Sim.
Yeah, you shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
So, mas
Yeah.
mas essa
É
mentality...
uma noite perdida.
Yeah, but essa mentality pra mim é maning bad. Where it's like, oh, se eu não tô fazendo nada, tô a perder time, so I should, try and do something. Mas, yeah, that's what's happening now.
Não,
well,
mas,
it used to happen at least.
Yeah,
I'm
mas
a lot
também-
better at it.
Mas também às vezes tu ficas muito anxious quando estás ali sem fazer nada.
Yeah, maninho.
To do something yeah, acho que também um problema grande de como é que chama? Do insônia é anxiety. Yeah, tem muita anxiety mas tu não meditas?
I used to meditate every day. Mas now I started, okay, it's been for a while now. Eu comecei a não meditar porque Cal Newport talks about tipo, he's not a big fan of meditation because he feels like people use it as I don't remember como é que ele explicou, mas people use it as a cop out to not, because they don't have moments of depth in their day, tá a ver? What happens with us é que tipo, tu não tens nenhum moment for yourself. in your day. Se não estás a jobar, estás a pensar noutras cenas, sei lá, ou estás a escutar música, ou estás a fazer...
Your brain is always engaged.
Yeah, there's always input. That you're never just sitting down with your thoughts, just that. Então, he says that we use meditation as that moment of the day. But if you have moments of the day where it's just you and your thoughts, you don't really need meditations. So that's what I've been experimenting with, but I've been failing because I don't have those moments still of me and myself. So what I would do in the beginning is like I would just schedule moments of boredom. Because we've eliminated boredom from our life, bro. If you're bored, you take out your phone. On social media.
Exactly.
But there's benefits to being bored. It helps you focus more. So because doing hard work is boring, man.
Yeah.
Sitting down, for me, for example, sitting down on my computer for 3 hours editing, that shit's boring.
Yeah.
So what I would do in the beginning is I would schedule moments of boredom, like just go to a veranda, ficar sentado ali a pensar. And that would help me. It would help me, tipo, not. It would kind of replace the meditation moments.
Yeah.
Now I don't do that and I don't meditate.
Oh, so you don't do both.
Exactly. Mas it's just...
Não, mas é nice. Mas tu conseguiste ter algum benefit por algum tempo?
Yeah, okay.
5 days, a month, whatever?
Como assim 5 days a month?
Tipo, se tivesse... Quando fizias o schedule do boredom, did you manage to get any benefit? Even if it was for only 5 days or if it was for a month.
So what I think has happened, e é uma cena que eu acho que ainda tenho, even though I don't do it, I'm able to... Estás a ver, quando tu estás a trabalhar numa cena, when you're doing something, não é necessariamente trabalhar, you kind of zone out, né? They call it state of flow, né? So I have more of those moments. Whereas before, quando eu sentava para escrever ou editar, I would be like, bro, essa cena aqui tá demorando a acabar. So I would just do things. I would just do things to kind of distract me a little bit. But now I don't. Just like I'm able to sit down and work, put my phone aside and forget that I even have a phone. So I think that is a benefit of having those little moments of boredom. Say like, okay. So it's been very helpful, man. Carl Newport changed the game.
Carl Newport.
Gotta look out for that.
For Cal Newport.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, I think Cal Newport, maybe not Cal Newport himself, mas tipo, what he teaches should be a requirement in all schools, porque é uma cena que é tão importante, tipo, your ability to focus deeply on things. We all need that. Doesn't matter what you do, we all need that. Mas the way the world is shaped hoje, it goes away from that. Where you have to have distractions at all moments. You have to be accessible at all moments. So, okay, you always have to be online, bro. A cena que eu mais admiro today are people that you can text at any time and they reply like that. Hey, bro. Props to you, man. I can't do that. I can't be on my phone. Like, I don't know how you're able to be productive and still be available. Like my dad, hey, bro. I asked him today on the way here, I was like, como é que tu consegue ser produtivo? Mas you have so many calls at all time. And he's like, it's hard, bro. Like, I would be more productive if I didn't have this many calls. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, yeah.
I think it's the same like with my mom as well. Like, she's always on the phone. Like, always. And same thing, like you're saying. Like, how do you manage to be productive? How do you manage to do so many things and still be on the phone the whole time?
Yeah. It's a mystery, man.
But I think it's also like, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, from what I've realized, like here in Moz, people tend to call each other quite a lot to get things done.
Mm-hmm.
Email.
They don't use email, bro.
Don't use email. WhatsApp. Instead of the email is the WhatsApp. Like WhatsApp, okay, it's like quick, it's instant. But it's like you want something done or want to reach someone, it's calling.
Man,
So I don't know if that also blends into that.
Yeah, we have a different culture aqui. Aqui eu percebo que é bem normal, tipo, aqui tu ligas para alguém, a pessoa atender ou mandar uma mensagem, mas if you talk to someone from Europe, even SA, simple as SA, you don't normally
no such thing, bro.
someone out of the blue. You always text before, and then if the person doesn't reply, you call. But here it's like, you just call.
Yeah,
like,
bro. I've been thinking about that a lot, porque tipo, agora eu comecei a ter maninho opportunities, estás a ver? And people call me. And I'm like, bro, you don't know me. Like, this is my personal number, estás a ver? And they're like, yeah, like that's the norm. É tipo, eu vou te ligar para te explicar qual é a opportunity. I'm like, that's so, you're coming so into my personal space. Estás a ver? Mas eu acho que é because we're such warm people. Estás a ver? Like, I think our biggest advantage in Moz is how friendly we are.
Yes.
Estás a ver? And I think that's a consequence of that. Tipo, para ti é normal. You're not doing something crazy by calling another person.
Yeah.
Estás a ver? So that's what I think it is.
E também aqui, no geral, eu acho que as pessoas, people don't really take offense if you call them or if you don't pick up a call. É tipo, ok, na boa, mas outros sítios é difícil. Às vezes, mesmo para business, na South, eu mandava um e-mail e eu tenho essa cena daqui de moça, eu gosto de ligar. Eu tipo, ok, vocês têm um número para ligar, para perguntar quanto é que custa, como é que funciona, as horas, o que é que eu preciso fazer, o que é que eu preciso trazer e eles não respondem com o número, dizem, não, escreve e-mail.
Yeah. It's weird, you're talking about essay there, and I'm the type of person that I don't like to talk to many people in the day. I have a cap. So once I reach that cap, then it's like it's done because something that I related to what you're talking about there is thoughts. So every day I try to make some time for myself, other than the tons of jobs and
time for
9 to
family,
5 and
friends,
all of that, and also family, which is also other time. But you also need at least some time for yourself and you like your thoughts. So it's like
it's crucial.
I feel that the more people, at least me, in my theory, is like the more people I talk to, you're talking about input. It's just the bandwidth. It's just I'm just putting more stuff in the bandwidth, and then like I still got to deal with that. So I feel like I could totally relate to what you're saying there because I have a cap that after that I can't.
Yeah,
and then tomorrow we chat.
Yeah, it's the same for me, man. Tipo, I don't know. It's a ideia de que há pessoas que ganham energia by talking to other people is insane to me, bro. Porque
I'm one of those.
Hey, bro, I get exhausted, man.
Também.
Hey, bro, like Iki. Iki é chato, bro. Like, I love him, mas hey, bro, he loves to talk. And I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, Joe, I need a break.
I love to talk too. Mas ele tá no outro nível.
Yeah, bro. Mas that's crazy because he's like that. He's like, he gains more energy by talking to people. That concept to me, hey, bro, eu nem percebo como é que funciona essa cena.
Your brother should start a podcast thing.
Yeah, but
get him on here, KK.
Yeah, we need to get him on.
Yeah, good luck, because I don't know if you guys will get a word in, mas...
It could be a monologue. We can start a new series called The Monologues.
But it would be good. It would be good. An episode with him would be good.
Gasta sempre histórias.
Oh, bro, he will start, tipo, vais começar com um tópico, ele vai começar a te contar uma história de research topic. All of a sudden, he'll be somewhere completely different. Mas como ele chegou nesse sítio, makes sense. It's all connected somehow. It's impressive to me. Like, uma cena that I admire about him is his ability to express how he feels. If you ask me, how are you feeling? Good. But he was like, I wish I had that a little bit because it's been a big talking point for me and my girlfriend. Because she's always like, okay, let's say she does something I didn't like. Like, okay, why are you upset about this? I just didn't like it. Now, explain it to me. And I'm like, I don't know what you want me to say. So, yeah.
Isn't that usual, like, in relationships? Like, guys always, like, don't want to get into it.
Guys and girls.
Because what you explained there is exactly the same thing happens with me and my wife. So,
eu vou-vos mandar link. Vamos meter na description no pod. E é um stand-up comedy. Acho que talvez já mandei para o grupo. Mas basicamente o comic, eu esqueci o nome dele, diz o brain dos homens e das mulheres trabalham de maneiras diferentes. Então, basically, o homem quer ter aquele alone time, silence time. E às vezes we like to think about nothing. That's how we say. Quando temos um problema, we want to think about nothing. Então uma mulher chega aqui e pergunta, what are you doing? Estás assim com a remote na TV. Nothing? Tipo, estás a fazer, mas what are you doing? Nothing.
Yeah, you're not
What are you thinking
doing
about? Nothing.
nothing.
And that's very normal.
And that's therapeutic.
That's therapeutic. That's our therapy.
It's
Mas para as
important,
mulheres é
man.
diferente. Elas querem falar. Tipo,
Yeah.
se elas têm um problema, tu tens de perguntar, okay, how are you? Oh, I'm okay, but... Então, the conflict arises there quando tens a mulher está a pensar, tipo, ela sabe que tu tens um problema e tu dizes nothing. E ela está a pensar que a solução dela quer falar é o que tu precisas, mas não é aquilo. Estás a perceber? E às vezes quando tu estás calado e ela precisa de falar, não é aquela solução que ela precisa também. Então é muito complicado.
Yeah, bro.
Mas yeah, it is what it is. We have to adapt.
You were talking about stand-up comedy there. And I think like for you, Tino, is that something that you've ever thought of doing ever in your life? Like, is that something that
I have, bro.
Have you done it? Sorry, that's actually what I wanted to say.
I've never done it.
But you've dreamt about it.
Yeah, I have. Much like it seems so hard, bro. It seems so hard because my forte é escrever cenas and reading off the script. And with the comedy, for me, the best comics, at least the ones I like the most, are the ones that... So everyone has written material, but are the one that can bounce off stuff from the audience. Yeah, I love people that ask stuff. Tipo, hey, what are your names? Look, essa cena para mim é insane, bro.
Yeah, improv.
É uma cena que eu gostaria de experimentar, maybe sometime, porque one thing that I've always been jealous of athletes, professional athletes, is that feeling they get when they score a goal or a basket and they celebrate like, yeah, oh. So like, I don't have that moment as like a content creator. There's no moment where something happens and I'm like, yeah, oh. So I've always been jealous of having that moment where, you know, you're with a crowd and you share that ecstasy of, you know, doing something great. So I would love to have that moment as a comic where I say a joke and everybody's like, yeah, woo. Yeah, so I would love to do it just for that, just to feel what that's like. Yeah. Acho que ainda vou tentar at least experimentar, estás a ver? Especially because it felt like before COVID, the stand-up comedy scene was
bubbling.
Yeah, I came on.
Yeah, and it does. And how much do you know about that?
I don't know shit.
Yeah,
I don't know that much. Tipo, eu só sei porque eu comecei a estar interessado na cena porque eu tenho um brother chamado Noslin. Yeah, so he was a comic and he is a comic, né? E ele convidou-me para stand-up dele.
Noslin é maninho funny.
Bro, he's hilarious. Like, o gajo postava cenas on Insta and he would do those type of things where it's like, entrar na loja and do a dare.
Pranks, people.
Yeah, exactly, bro. That dude is crazy, man. Like, even if you meet him...
Eu acho que o gajo não tem medo de levar porrada.
Bro, eu acho que ele não tem medo de nada, bro. You know, because when we went to... Like, when he invited me to his stand-up thing, we didn't know each other like that. He was just like, hey, come through to my thing. I was like, all right, cool. E eu basei com brada. And he told me, like, I don't remember that time. Ele disse, a cena começa às 18h30. I don't know this guy. Eu chego lá às 18h50 e ele tá sentado, era num bar, eu não sei em que zona. Era antigo Nando's. You guys remember?
Havana.
There by...
Ali no, como é que chama aqueles prédios? Ali na, é o quê?
Não é Matsitung?
Ah, bro, não sei zonas, man.
Aqui.
Yeah, aqui Matsitung.
Yeah,
aqui. Where Shake is...
Esse spot aí. Então é um spot ali, né? Então ele tá sentado com um brada numa table. And I'm like, what are you doing here? Tô a cena às 18h30. And he's like, no, menti, é às 19h. I'm like, what? Ele sim, era porque eu sabia que vocês iam atrasar, então eu menti. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Mas
But
yeah,
he wasn't wrong, though.
He wasn't wrong. Mas, bro, who does that? Who does it? Like, that dude is crazy. So I had seen his stuff on Instagram, I had seen his stuff on YouTube. Mas quando vi o gajo no stand-up, hey, bro, I died. He's good. He has that, Timata. People say stuff and he says something back. So, okay. So after that, that's when I started getting into it a little bit. E vi que tem Mayra Santos. You know her?
Yeah.
So she has a show.
She has a show on Success. Is it Success?
Yeah, TV Success.
Yeah.
That's the most I know about it. It's just that She has a show, a
And
bunch
she's
of comics
growing.
goes there.
She's
Yeah, man, she's kind of paving the way,
Yeah.
you know, for a lot of people. So, yeah.
it's great to see, man. It's I think it's always been something that it's not. Sorry, what I mean to say is that it's nice seeing this new generation.
Yeah.
Because I think we've had like actors, Mozambican actors, that would sort of be in teatro and be funny and all
Yeah.
of that. But now with all these different mediums and channels and
Yeah.
social media and
More opportunities.
more opportunities and
Yeah, you should-
cameras being small and being able to have great quality.
Eu acho que também outra coisa que acontece é que o style do comics ainda não... Aqui em Moz ainda está numa metamorfose, you know, like early on you would have, you still have, né? Gilberto Mendes and these guys e eles era cena para teatro, também para TV shows e por aí em diante. Depois houve aquele improviso, né? That was really stand-up comedy, which was good. I went to, I think, 2.
You went as in like you went
just to watch.
Okay. He was like, okay.
No,
We was slinging them jokes.
clarifying things.
Yeah, just to watch, and yeah, it was really, really funny. I think they were good, but I don't know if they're still active subs.
I don't think they are, porque o Noslen também já não está fazendo nada live for the longest, so I don't think those dudes are either. Mas I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. So
Yeah, who knows? I wonder if there's any like brands that are wanting to get behind like comedy in Mozambique. Maybe.
I don't know, man, because I think it's still investing in like é uma cena fora da norma. Aqui em Moz, estás a ver?
Yeah.
Então it feels like brands are starting to kind of, you know, get into sponsoring those type of people. Say, okay, which a lot of props I think have to go to Guizo because hey, bro, that nigga is, o gajo exagera with his promos, mas he's changing the game, bro. So I think it's something. I think it's something that's gonna be becoming more and more normalized. Né? Brands going to comics, creators, artists. Say, okay.
Yeah.
Mas it's still starting. It's still in the beginning
It's still in
phase.
the beginning. Yeah, a cena nesta também que estou a ver agora tem people de outras províncias, né?
Yeah.
Uma pessoa muito cómica, por exemplo, na Beira, esqueci o nome dela, mas é uma... ela é uma...
Come on, KK. You're
Yeah,
the
bro,
B
não
City.
lembras
You're
do
the,
nome
you're the
de
B
ninguém,
City dude,
bro.
man.
I'm terrible.
You're a B City
I'm a
correspondent.
B City
Come on,
correspondent. I can't be doing my job. I'm out there living my best life. You know what I mean? I say fake reports to Kubhula. But anyways,
She's a YouTuber.
não é YouTube.
Oh,
Ela
okay.
é tipo ela faz teatro. É muito old school.
Ah, okay.
E só que ela faz comic tipo na rádio. Faz tipo aqueles spots, jingles ou sei lá, na rádio, né? Então ela começa tipo a fazer fun stuff com aquele accent, estás a ver, mais beirense. Então tu começa a rachar, às vezes tá a vender uma cena e tipo frangos ou sei lá, ou massa ou qualquer que seja. E está a fazer uma cena fun, tá a ver? Funny to hear. Mas o que eu quero dizer é que tipo, também tens comics sprinkled around the country que
bro.
eu acredito deve ter uma pessoa semelhante em Nampula e pelo que eu vi ela também vai para casamentos, né? E tem uns 30 minutes que ela começa a fazer jokes e aqui também havia, not sure if they still do it, mas acho que havia people que
Mas, bro,
Yeah.
casamentos.
It all starts with like you have various comics around the country, nas províncias and things, but I think it all starts. I think how, and at least in my head, how you would start a movement like that is yes, you have like the online stuff, which is fantastic, and that also has a life in its own. Something can go viral like that. You never know, right? You can't do a video and go like, this video I'm making is gonna go viral. Like you don't know.
you don't know.
That's why it's called viral. So
Yeah, mas there's people that have mastered it to a point of like, bro, tem YouTuber chamado Dream. He's from the States, and he makes Minecraft videos.
yes, I think I've heard about this guy.
This nigga sent out a tweet last year, around November or some shit. I told my sister that I would get 300,000 subscribers in less than 3 months because this time I understand YouTube. Like I've been studying it. I've been studying Reddit. After a year, he got 10 million subscribers. Just for you to understand how hard that is, people, only 0.5% of people that have a YouTube account have more than 100,000. Yeah. 10 million is like you're the 0.01%. And he did that in a year. So he knows something we don't. And there's other people as well that are like you. For example, Ryan Holiday has a company, a marketing company. And you go to him like, I'm releasing a book and I want this book to be big. It's like, okay, cool, we'll sort you out.
Here's the price.
Don't worry.
He's
when
good,
I tell you
bro.
to be somewhere, you'll be there. Don't worry, we got
bro,
the rest
like,
handled.
Honestly, that's a skill that I would love to have. Like being able to be like have people like I would start a business. People come to me and we will make your shit blow up.
Okay.
Like I would love.
Mas tu não pensas em fazer isso com comic agora, com comedy and everything that you're doing?
With my stuff.
Yeah.
I just don't know how. Like I would love to do it much, but I still don't understand how market.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like it's something that I think it's something that you can I say like easily learn. What I mean by easily learn is at least with our market, what I've seen in other industries, and at least the industry that I'm in, is that a lot of it requires just like talking to people and just like doing research, just getting out there, like getting your hands dirty. Because that's how you'll know, like identifying like, okay, there's actually, 10 really good young comics. Interesting now. Okay, what did these guys do? Okay, not everyone is the same. One will have a style like this, a style like that. But what I was saying just before, the Minecraft thing was that what helps a lot of these movements start is sort of people gathered in one place. I know it's ironic now that we kind of can't do that, but I look at the way like movements have started in other places in the world where it was all concentrated around like a particular place or a particular like a place where everyone would go to on Thursday nights or where everyone would go to on it wouldn't be like on a weekend. It would be like during the week. Okay, like Tuesdays, it's Laughing Tuesdays at whatever. And you would have like upcoming comics, then you have your headliner, which would be like the guy.
Yeah.
And that's the guy that sold the tickets basically and would get the cachet at the end of the day, most of it anyways. But that's also like kind of starting that movement that you're starting to discover who these guys are. And what that ends up happening is you guys end up creating this industry because as long as you're bringing people buying tickets, any brand will want to be associated with that,
If you have eyeballs, bro, you have potential to make business with anything, as long as you have the numbers to back it up. Like, I don't think Gwizzle is a great content creator, but he's a big personality.
100%.
And that's enough. Like,
he's a very good connector.
And he's good at it too.
Networking and connecting the right dots.
Yeah, exactly. So,
eu acho que, sabes, uma coisa que aplica-se para isto, mas também no geral, é que nós aqui em Moz temos muito bom content, temos people que está disposto a fazer as coisas, mas não temos tipo uns bons connectors. Quando falo desses connectors, estou a falar, por exemplo, Jorge Mendes é um exemplo. Estás a perceber? Ele é um connector. O gajo
You're talking about George Mendes, the football agent?
Football agent.
Just to clarify,
Yeah, football agent. Ele é um connector. Ele não joga futebol, não é treinador. Eu acredito que ele até não seja uma pessoa tão técnica para saber, este gajo aqui tem... Ele só olha e sabe conectar as pessoas certas, liga para a pessoa certa, liga para...
You need a striker, don't worry.
You need a striker. You need to
It's
get...
Portuguese.
You need to get your medicals done. Okay, cool. I know a guy.
Yeah.
Okay, you need to go... Yeah, I know a doctor. You need to get your health good. I know a nutritionist. Então, to a certain extent, também nós precisamos de connectors, porque acho que aqui a Moz temos bom content. Tem um comic que o Fakir gosta muito.
que não lembras nome.
Don't remember I don't remember names. Sorry.
The worst.
I'm the worst. Devia ter feito com isso. Mas ele é acho que é de Nampula ou
Um stand-up
Zambezi.
comic.
Não é stand-up, ele faz vídeos YouTube.
Okay.
E o gajo tem thousands and thousands of views.
What kind of videos? Do you have you seen his videos?
Yeah, I've seen. Alguns faz com vídeo, alguns faz com, tipo, ele tá a falar uma cena só, tipo...
Just talking to the camera.
Yeah, talking to the camera, cenas assim, e o gajo é maninho funny. Isso eu vi, tô a dizer coisas que eu vi há 5, 6 anos atrás. Estás a perceber?
Okay.
E ele já naquele tempo tinha thousands and thousands of views. Agora não sei como é que tá. Então, existe esse content todo, estás a perceber aí, à espera de alguém descobrir. Mas como não temos esse connection.
Maybe what you're trying to say, KK, is maybe like, I agree with you, connectors, but maybe it's those connectors that can help. I think what we're missing here a lot in a lot of things, even music, that we had the conversation with Claudio last week, was about like, I think we need not only connectors, but also, and maybe it is the connectors, but we need to package our stuff better. So what I mean by packaging our stuff better is like the whole journey. I think a lot of the times, like new artists and comics and, you know, whatever, the creatives, let's put it creatives in general, a lot of them don't think about like that journey. So you either end up advertising or letting people know about it through the same channels and through the same ways, expecting different results.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times it right now, I think that is a perfect opportunity to experiment with new things. You know, especially this year, there's been like a dark year for our human race. But it also is providing a lot of opportunities to, again, 100%. You know, think about, you know, what I want to do in 2021 and beyond or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think what we're missing, and I hope that there's a lot of people that like making calls. We were talking about making calls. People like talking on the phone. Yeah. There's a lot of opportunity to be that connector and to package things, because we have amazing agencies here in Mozambique. We actually do. We have some amazing creatives that work for agencies. I think the PR game is also stepping up as well, like getting different types of PR, and that's also, you know, getting better, because. So what I mean by journey is that all these things, and online as well, all have to work together to achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, whatever goal it is, whether if it's growing followers or growing people to come to your venue or to your show.
Generate
or to
income or whatever it is.
Or to whatever it is. It's all got to work together. Nothing can work
Works
by
in
itself.
isolation. Yeah.
Otherwise, you won't have get the most out of it. So I agree with connectors, but also like we got to package our offering much better in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
I think the big problem is that a lot of that is put on the creators themselves.
100%.
We don't know what the hell we're doing, man. And o que acaba acontecendo, it all depends on your personality. Like, are you greedy? Okay, you're gonna package things to benefit you the most. Are you shy and whatnot?
You're gonna communicate well.
Exactly, because one thing I was talking with name Mike.
Yeah, name Mike. Yeah.
I was talking about this with him because we undervalue ourselves. Like us content creators from like YouTube say, okay, because the market is so new. When brands come to us, obviously as a brand, you want to spend the least amount of money and get the most amount of return. Eh? So our job is to be able to tell them like, my work is worth this much.
Yeah.
But because we don't know, we also need money, we end up asking for less. But I think it's because we don't know how to package. We don't know how to package our stuff in order to be able to tell, look, this is what we offer. This is what we've been through. This is what we go through to be able to give you this. So.
If to give you guys any sort of inspiration, a lot of people think that like these companies, like these Apples and Googles, just like one day just decided and they were big. They also went through that too.
Everyone.
They also went through not knowing what to quote. You know, do we quote this much or that much? You know, everyone goes through that.
Yeah.
And I guess it's a thing where, you know, starting off is not easy, where a lot of the times you end up underquoting or you end up not putting the actual worth that the collective or that your worth or whatever it is. But it's all a learning experience. So, you know, like next time, all right, the work that I did, I need to put extra for that, or for that friend that helped me, I need to give him some extra or whatever it is. the way I put it is like faz parte do processo.
Yeah.
That's the way I put it. It's like school fees. It's what
Yeah.
you're gonna go through in your journey, in your struggle to get to where you're going.
It is that way. Yeah, you gotta try to go through the trial and error part of the thing. But I also empathize a lot with you guys in the sense that like they ser content creator, they ser marketer, they ser businessman, they ser legal expert, networker.
You gotta go to those meetings.
You gotta go to those meetings. and all of those things, and you still have your family, and you still have your friends, and you still have your girlfriend. And so I get you.
So I'll put it this way. If there's anyone out there that has like a friend that's like unemployed, everyone has, I'm sure, like a friend that's unemployed. I have a few. And a lot of times people think that like being employed, yes, okay, you're not getting any money. Like I was unemployed for a long time, to be honest.
Me too.
And it's not a great feeling. No money in bank. But doesn't mean that you can't do anything, because I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are very skilled in a lot of things they probably don't even know.
Yeah.
And KK was talking about like these connectors, and maybe that's an opportunity to become that connector and start building something with friends that you know. So if I'm one of those people, I'd be like, shit, okay, Tino, he said that he wants to spend more time creating. Okay, where can I perhaps help him? I know I'm not going to get any money right now, but if Tino gets a contract with a brand, Tino, what up, man? Give me some percentages of that. Help me get that deal. But that's how we can start to do something. It's I think in anything, you got to be happy with what you do. Our artists, that creative field is tough, man.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Bro, like there was this YouTuber that said today it's harder to make it as a YouTuber than it is to get into the NBA. And I think that's true. And way back in the days, French Montana.
That's crazy.
That's a crazy state.
I'm just thinking, just to get into the NBA,
Bro,
like, what you gotta go through.
Imagine how good you have to be just to suck in the NBA, man.
Yeah.
It's
a 0.01%.
Yeah, mas French Montana said the same thing about, this was way back in the day, said the same thing about the music industry. And I don't, like in the States, bro, só aqui, like, we all rapped.
We're all rappers once upon a time.
Exactly. Agora imagine if you're in the States and that's what you need to eat. How many people aren't rapping that are amazing? We've never heard of them. So how hard must it be for you to make it like, hey, bro, it's a rough game, man.
It is a rough game, and that's spilling over to YouTube and Instagram and all these other things.
Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
Tino, in your sequences, I've always been curious because I've been following you for like a bit. Just like everyone else is probably listening to this. But like what I find amazing is like because you were talking about writing and your sequences, the way that you cut your sequences and all of that, like the different characters that you have like in your videos. I think that is what for me I find so
for me too.
Like next level is the different characters that the normal person like me like knows obviously that's you. But it's that have you ever considered like actual like acting, like doing like an acting role?
Nah, man, I don't think I'm a good actor at all because
Shut up.
The magic of acting is like you see that I'm not a good actor in any time I have to pretend to be crying. Like anytime I have to fake sad emotions. Because I do recognize that I'm pretty good. Like that's the mark.
Just wanted to get that out of you.
You can go ahead.
That's the mark of I was talking about this with Iki's sister, Clarice. Tu consegues sentir quando alguém não é bom in, faking emotions. É por isso que é maninho awkward. Agora nem tanto, mas tipo, it was very awkward to assistir music videos daqui de Moz. Because they would film the person's face and the song would be like an R&B song, tipo, yeah, baby, eu te amo. And a baby tá olhar pro dude, tipo, how long until I have to leave? Because it's hard to fake that interest. And people, you can sense it. You can sense tipo, esse vídeo aqui é tough de assistir, estás a ver? And when the person has that, the video is a lot more entertaining.
Yeah.
And I have that, but I have that with comedy. Like I've been practicing, I've put in my 10,000 hours, or at least I'm close. Mas with acting, you have to convince the viewer that if you're saying, I hate this person, you hate that person. And we as human beings can sense it when it's not real. É por isso que, maning, the toughest thing in Moz is gonna be to make like novelas. I haven't watched the Netflix movie, Mozambique movie that's on. Have you guys watched it?
You haven't?
I haven't yet. I haven't
watched
yet.
that movie, man.
Yeah,
I haven't yet.
Dope.
So, for example, with those people, those are people that live acting, tu já vê?
Yeah.
And that's what you have to do to fake an emotion. That's it. It's hard. So I don't think I have that in me. And what I wouldn't want is like I don't like, for example, if I were to make a movie, I wouldn't want to be like a Kevin Hart, que tipo eu só faço comédia. Tu já vê? I would want to be like a Jake Gyllenhaal that makes like movies that are challenging, man. Like you are
And all different characters.
Yes, tu já vê? You are someone que in real, like someone that knows you, sees you in that character is like, holy shit, what the hell? Like that's what I would like to do. I can't do that. So
Okay.
that's why I would not be.
But would you still like going, de acordo com Age's comment, you still have a very good writing, And
Yeah.
would you also consider being a writer for movie or
novella or
series?
series?
Yeah,
whatever
well,
the case is.
Screenwriter, is that what you call them?
I think so.
Screenplay,
I think so.
writer, or whatever.
I don't know. The reality is, eu não sou alguém que vê way far into the future. Like I don't know what I want to do 5 years from now. All I know is I want to be a full-time YouTuber. That's number one. That's as far as I thought. So I don't have these goals of like I'm using YouTube to get here. Like YouTube is it. So, mas if an interesting opportunity arrived, as long as it didn't mess too much, which it probably would, honestly, if I'm writing for like a movie or whatever, I wouldn't be able to do YouTube
for 6 months.
Yeah,
at least.
yeah, and I wouldn't want to do that, and at least not before like I'm
Stable.
Yeah. So, mas yeah, I think all these opportunities are interesting. Mas não é something that I'm like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah, your lane for now is it's
like even Instagram. I wanted to quit making Instagram videos for a while, and it was just because my friends were like, bro, you can't, man. This is because I was like, this taking away my focus from YouTube, which is because the type of videos that I really, really enjoy making are the ones where I get to talk about a little bit of self-development and include that in the comedy. And I don't get that with Instagram videos. Instagram video is just
too short.
it's just full punchline. Yeah, exactly. But that, like, yeah, I mean, I sent the YouTube, like, this style of videos weren't working, so I'm just diverging into making more sketches and stuff. I would love to reach a point where I can make videos where I'm just I'm kind of doing stand-up in front of a camera, but I'm also, you're learning something from it. I'm sharing what I learned in books. That's my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, actually, one thing that I've been meaning to ask you, and I'm waiting, just waiting for the right opportunity, and I think right now is one of those. What are the things? Because, when you look at comics, por exemplo, olhas para, vamos dizer, o Dave Chappelle, example.
Number one is my favorite.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah, Dave Chappelle's the GOAT.
Bro, all
he's beyond
day,
GOAT.
man, all day.
I know.
It's like living GOAT. Sorry
what?
to cut you off. He's like living GOAT.
You have something to say about Dave Chappelle being the GOAT?
Eu fui ver o Richard Pryor e também o Chris Rock.
Bro, Chris Rock
também tá ali, mas só que
bro, Chris Rock is not Richard
Yeah.
Pryor. We can have a debate.
Chris Rock for me is like
he had
amazing,
that legendary
Stand up, the
Stand-up.
one,
Yeah.
bro. You gotta back it up, man.
Yeah.
You gotta be Cristiano Ronaldo. You know,
mas Dave Chappelle é tipo,
bro, bangers on bangers on bangers, man. I've only seen 2 from Richard Pryor. I don't know.
No, Richard Pryor, dude.
Richard Pryor, man. Yeah, even Dave Chappelle.
GOAT status too.
Yeah, that, to me, that's the mark of in comedy and music writing, tipo, if your stuff survives the test of time, yeah, okay, you're amazing. And that's why I think a lot of people are focused on being number one today. They want to have, like, you
the
see a
quick
lot
fix.
of, you see a lot of artists like, oh, we have the number one songs on iTunes. Okay, but is it? We're gonna listen to it 10 years from now and still be good. That's what I
But it
want.
still be Thriller.
Exactly, bro. Like, to me, I can't say this nigga is the greatest author of all time. It's like the most impressive thing that ever happened is Marcus Aurelius's Meditations. 2,000 years later, you're still reading it like, oh my God.
Yeah. And you're also still reading it in different interpretations from
Money.
others. It's still in there.
And how many books have been made from the same text?
Exactly.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
Yeah, so.
Mas já,
Sorry, KK.
Yeah, my
No,
bad.
so-
You go for it.
my thing is, ok, estava a dar exemplo, Dave Chappelle.
Yes, Dave Chappelle,
Ele incorpora muitas coisas de living popular culture into his comics, right?
Yes.
And to a certain extent, há pessoas que dizem que comedy é tipo uma representação do dia a dia das pessoas, né? E eu acho que é verdade, por isso é que a gente vai para ver isso. O que é que normalmente o que é que te inspira para fazer isso, né? Tu olhas para, são coisas pessoais da vida, coisas que fez de alguém, ou por exemplo, às vezes que tu tens um barato que ele é o tonto que tu estou sem ideias, deixa lá, it's gonna make me crack up, or às vezes também tu tens às vezes aquele tio, aquela granny que é também tipo, você, you know, but I wanted to know like what do you use, né? Porque também há gajos que pegam coisas sérias, tipo, vamos dizer, o Trump, and they make it funny, tá a né?
Eu não sei.
Tem vários avenues.
I don't know. Acho que eu sou alguém que has much of the ability to. I sound like that makes Dave Chappelle the GOAT, and you could put Richard Pryor in that conversation as well. And these are the comics I like the most is when they take things that aren't supposed to be funny and they make it funny. Tá a ver? My favorite Dave Chappelle stand-up é chamado. Oh my God. I'm like you. Is
it the ones before Netflix, or
it was the last one from the Netflix one, the one where he's in a small bar.
Yeah, I forgot that.
That
tu vamos contagiar aqui.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, come on. How can I forget a name for nome de Dave?
Continue going. I'll get the name.
Yeah. So in that one, it's not even that funny. It's not that funny. He's talking about women being sexually assaulted. He's talking about Colin Kaepernick.
I think I saw that one live.
Sticks and Stones? No. Sticks and Stones is not that one.
No, it's not that one.
No, Sticks and Stones is the most recent one.
I think I saw that. He toured for that one. I think that's 2018.
Yeah, that's 2018.
Okay.
I saw it live.
You saw it live?
Yeah,
hey, bro. Lucky
crazy.
you, man. Lucky you. So, in it...
It's funny. I actually was with someone, and with a woman, and then she actually felt like, how can I say? She felt a little bit touched by some of the things.
Yeah, that's what I'm very...
She laughed, but at the same time, she was like...
I'm very afraid of showing it to my girlfriend because Dave Chappelle is my prized possession. Like, so far, every stand-up I've shown her, she's loved it. But that one touches on a few subjects where I think she's going to be like,
Yeah,
so I don't know if
like, we have to cancel it.
Maninho. Mas that to me changed the game because it made me realize que tu não precisas só falar de like cenas patetas to be funny. You can actually touch. E também another one that changed the game for me was one from Bo Burnham. That one is called Make Happy. And he's talking about, I'm depressed. I'm going through the roughest time in my life. But it's a stand-up comedy show. And I'm like, holy shit. You can do that? Like, I didn't know you could do that. I think you still can do that in sketches because Dave Chappelle had the Chappelle Show. And he was still...
one of the greatest shows of all time.
Right. Like, he would still touch on, important
The
topics.
draft league.
Bro. Like, he has so many crazy ideas.
For me, it's the characters. I'm just someone that, like, I love it when one person can
become all
those
these
characters.
People. Yeah, like, that's one thing I'm trying to work on is create characters that have continuity in my videos. People, now esse aqui é o Chuvencio. Chuvencio is one that I've been able to do. But like, I want to create more characters with their own personalities. Because I'm very like, for each video, there's each character. My inspiration. So inspiration for me comes from different places. I can say that the main sources, the ones that I get the most ideas from, are my parents and my girlfriend. Those are the people that suffer the most with my videos because I'm making fun of them all the time. My video before, my recent videos is the Caldo Benny challenge.
I saw it yesterday.
Yes.
Yo.
That one?
That's a crazy video, bro.
Thanks.
That one,
I'm really glad people
Nuts.
like it, man.
Nuts.
I worked really hard on that one. So the one before that is a video of me making fun of her because she's always like, this jacket is one that she's like,
Yeah, I saw that one too. Like,
deixa eu ver. So it comes with random conversations where I'm like, oh, I don't like this about it peeves me, this behavior from my girlfriend or this behavior from my parents. And I just make videos about that. But another thing that happens is I'm talking because I talk to my girlfriend every day. So that's where in the middle of a conversation, she'll say something and I'm like, that's a great video idea. Let me write it down. There are the moments where I'm doing the most random thing, like I'm showering. And when I'm alone, I don't know if this is just me, but when I'm alone and I'm imagining scenarios in my head, I act them out. Like if I'm imagining that, I don't know, I bought a car, like I'm acting it out, like going to the store,
like jumping
exactly, which can be very awkward sometimes when you're in the kitchen and someone catches you.
Yeah.
But a lot of ideas have come from that as well. So I'm like, oh, this is good. I need to make sure I write it down. So it just comes from random stuff.
That's really nice. That's really nice. And do you think, like, because you say some things like actually you don't like to that happen, in your life, e deixam-te chateado, e tu achas que fazer vídeo comic, né, about it, ajuda-te a tirar o stress, or relieve it, and
I don't know if the videos themselves help
or the process.
Oh, I think uma cena que my girlfriend Jessica, né? Só para não estar a dizer my girlfriend. Uma cena de Jessica.
Like that guy com ex-namorado.
That lives on Burberry Road.
You get home. Which one? Which
girlfriend you talking about? Huh? I had to hit you with that one.
So that's one of my favorite sound effects. What the hell was I talking about? So Jessica. What the hell?
Estava a perguntar se tipo é release, né, para ti.
The thing she complains about is that não anima a discutir comigo because I don't argue. I'm just like, okay, cool, I'm sorry, or whatever. And I think the reason I don't argue is because of these scenarios I play in my head. I've had a lot of arguments with my girlfriend in my head. I always win them. Always. She's never right. So I think that's what helps me get that stress out of the way. Agora, with the videos, it's not really things that que me deixam chateado. São cenas that I want to say, but I don't have the balls to say, so I make a video about it. Like my parents being annoying, com me mandar toda hora. I'm never going to tell my parents that, like, I don't like this, so I make a video about it. Outro vídeo where I did that was, eu não gramo de emprestar meu livro a pessoas, meus livros a pessoas, because they almost never return it. I have to be the one to go, hey bro, como é que já acabaste aquele book, sei lá o quê. As we speak, eu tenho one of my best friend, tá com book desse, mas nem time. Eu lhe emprestei disse, bro.
As we speak, eu tô com book do Márcio.
Tá vendo?
6 months, I think.
So,
And Marcia has one of my books. So it's a vicious cycle.
Okay.
No, I don't know what it is. When people receive a book, they just don't care. So I made a video about that, like why I'm never lending my books to anyone ever again. E era para meu best friend, for him to see that, like, I'm never lending you any of my books again. So that's where a lot of it comes from. It's just me wanting to say stuff that I don't have the courage to say, or I just don't feel comfortable, or whatever. And I feel like it would be funnier if I made a video about this. That's where a lot of the videos come from. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes. So whatever situation comes up.
Yes. Because I'm very non-confrontational. To the point where there was this when I lived in Cape Town, tinha spot where I would go print. I'll go print stuff, né? I'll go print stuff.
Notes, whatever.
Yeah, I don't. Eu basei pra lá this one time, and this dude asked me for my number. I think I was printing something. It was like, dude, why do you need this stuff? I was like, é pra vídeo. Like, oh, you make videos? Like, yeah, okay. Eu preciso de uma cena, for someone to help me with videos. Can we talk about it? I was like, okay, cool. I went home and I was like, I do not want to work with that dude. So I started going to a different place to print because I didn't want to confront him and be
didn't want to tell him
but that place was so close to my house. I walked further to print rather than going there and facing the music. Like, hey, bro, listen, I'm not gonna help you with that. So, então, because I'm non-confrontational, because I just make videos that would be those confrontations.
You have those confrontations through your video.
Yeah, through my videos.
Your art form is actually
makes for great material because like one of my the biggest video I've ever made is me complaining about people that are like, I have this business opportunity for you.
I saw that one.
Yeah, bro, Jesus Christ. Yeah, it's business opportunity for you. Tu vais pagar essa mensalmente, mas depois trazes 4 pessoas e já não vais pagar. Blah. Yes. And the awkward thing about that video.
Okay.
I don't even know if I should be talking about this. But the awkward thing
Don't mention names.
I have to though. The awkward thing about that video was that my girlfriend's brother is in a business. He's in a business that is very much shaped like that. But he makes it a point to tell you, listen, this is not a pyramid scheme. I'm like, okay, it's a market, MLM.
Yeah, market,
network marketing, blah, blah. That's a sense. And I'm like, cool. The problem is that there's a lot of similarities with their business. So when I made that video, I've been debating with her, should I make this video? I don't know if your brother's going to take it the wrong way. She's like, it's fine, just do it. And I did it. And he was fine with it, to his credit. But all her family members, this is Edson. He's making a video about Edson. This is him. Okay, which made it very awkward for me. I was like, it's not about him, but it's just coincides.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, mas like I wanted to, porque aquela cena eu fiz aquele vídeo depois daquela cena de, como chama? Crowd One.
Yeah.
Yes. Depois daquela confusão que aconteceu aqui. I was like, yo,
it's about time.
I'm tired of these niggas.
I'm tired.
So I made the video and it blew up because the good thing is that me making these videos to avoid the confrontations, so many people relate to it. So many people are like, essa também acontece comigo, sei lá o quê. The girlfriend's videos, everyone's like, oh, és tu essa aqui. So that's the cool thing.
No, I relate to that too. Já tive umas experiências também. Like, people tell you like, yeah, we have to have a business meeting, whatever. Like, okay, cool. Like, go there. É uma cena dessas, uma apresentação. I'm like, I have to stay here for 1 hour. I can't even leave, but I know that I'm not going to do this.
Yeah. That's the thing. For me, eu estou a preparar na minha head in like, okay, como é que eu vou negar essa pessoa? Because I'm really bad at saying no. So how am I going to reject this? Mas, what the hell did I want to say? I forgot.
Yeah, but actually, from that, just want to get a quick thing from you. Tu disseste também, family da tua dama começou tipo criticizing you, mas tu já tiveste algum backlash por causa de uma joke que tu fizeste que...
Okay, I think my girlfriend will kill me if I don't say this. She's never criticized me for any videos. Mas backlash from a video, I don't remember any. I think I would remember se já tivesse acontecido something like that. Mas
not yet.
Not yet. And agora, I'm honestly threading into dangerous territory. I'm gonna give you guys an exclusive.
Okay.
Oh. We're building up to the exclusive.
I think only my girlfriend, my sister e meu irmão sabem disso. Mas my next video is about Blaze. Okay. I'm making fun of him. Mas, he's my cunhado. He's like my brother, so he's not gonna do anything. Mas tipo, it's all obviously it's all in a light spirit. I never do this with malice or whatever. Like to the point where sometimes I'm like, am I going too hard on them?
Exactly.
Mas like, so I'm starting to specify my jokes. Estás a ver? Tipo, this is about pyramid schemes. This is
You
about
actually create
blaze.
a
Yeah, estás a ver?
environment around it.
Yeah, and the issue is that, bro, I came out, man. People take everything personally.
Yeah.
Like people take it too hard.
That's true.
Like
So true.
like there's like when we were talking about
Everybody
comedy,
thinks it's about them.
bro, for real, man. Like they take it so personal, like as if it affects how their work is. Like, listen, if your work is good, it's good. Estás a ver? Ninguém há de vir dizer, I can say whatever I want to say about Gwizzle. He's still gonna be getting his opportunity. Like it's not gonna change. Estás a ver? Mas yeah, so I try to be very careful about that because here, man, people are very sensitive. So I try to be careful about talking about specific things in specific ways.
Even like I can imagine, like for example, making a joke about, say, for example, religion or stuff like that.
Bro, like I have an idea for talk about Muslims.
It's a chamber.
Save it for Easter.
It's in a chamber.
No, I have one for Muslims that I thought about. It's actually my friend Marcelo. They gave me the idea. And I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna be all right. So I haven't touched it. I have jokes about gays. I have a joke about transgender.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm afraid. Bro.
And that's the thing. Like, how do you feel about this canceling culture around comedy in general, globally?
Yeah, I think anything that goes. I think it started out con good intentions. Right, the initially it was good, but like Shigoma extreme, that is just counterproductive to this point because, man, there's a great article, but it's really long. Like it's so long that they're turning it into a book from this blog called Wait But Why. Amazing blog. The writer is called Tim Urban. He has you can check out. He has a TED talk called something about procrastinator's brain. Yeah. That's one of his biggest articles. So in this article, it's his most recent article, I think, The Story of Us. He's basically telling the story of humanity. My job is he tells the story from an American's perspective. So he talks about the foundation of America, blah, 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 blah. And in the end, what he's trying to help us understand is why the world is so divided, why it feels like the world is ending, that everyone is fighting. Still okay. And in the end, he explains that like what's happening with social media, in the social media era, is that everything is becoming more black and white. You're either good or you're bad. There's no nuance because social media does not allow for nuance. It's quick messages, but nuanced conversations are longer. So what's happening is that with cancel culture is that if you look like a bad person, you're a bad person. You don't deserve to have a career. So that's not how it works. I can say something that seems bad to you, but my intentions weren't bad. But intentions don't matter anymore. If you said this, you are this, period. So we're going to treat you as if you are this.
You're going to put you in a box.
Yes. If you make jokes about, one of my favorite comedians, Mark Norman, he makes joke about pedophilia.
Yeah.
So Mark Norman is amazing.
Yeah, he doesn't care.
Yeah, which is those are the diamonds in the rough now. Comedians that are willing to, risk
to
it.
Put themselves on the fire.
Mas based on cancel culture, he should be canceled. But what he's saying, the message behind what he's saying is very important because he's trying to understand things. He's posing great questions for us to ponder. Much because he says pedophilia, he should be canceled. That's the problem, the extreme that we've gotten to.
Yeah, just say one word, and the thing is like sometimes you're not even allowed to backtrack or to
You're done. You're done. Tipo, se meteste uma água, that's it. You're gone. We don't forgive you. Se meteste uma água in 2010, you're done too. That's ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that's what happened now. There was this lady that was sort of what'd you say, competing to be like Miss South Africa or something. I don't know if you call it competing.
Yeah.
And then they got like this like racial sort of comment that she made, I don't know, years ago, something like that, and she's been canceled.
Nah, bro. Hey, that's messed up because, bro, we've all said things that are like, if people knew I said this, I don't know how they would take it.
Yeah.
But they're not out in public. So it's like.
But the thing is, one thing for sure is, I think you're like, you should say you're sorry and you should be genuine about it.
Yeah, of course.
But if you say you're sorry and you take steps to actually, try to amend whatever you did, it should be like, oh, okay, cool. You made a mistake, move on.
Yeah.
If it is a mistake,
Yeah,
because
maninho.
a lot of times it's not even
It's
a mistake.
not, yeah, but it's treated like
but
it
but
is.
like that's the thing. Like everybody's on trial right now, and then
Bro, at all
whatever you say.
times.
So this phrase you said da 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 da. So okay, this means that
Yeah, it's literally on a chopping block. Anything.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what
and
social media.
the messed
as well
up thing
doesn't
is
help
that
with that.
the messed up thing is that if I have a 1 hour special, but you take one phrase and you put that as a headline, it can be completely taken out of context, and that's what happens a lot. So yeah, man, bro.
It is what it is, man.
It is what it is, man.
I'm gonna tackle the elephant in the room.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
You know I don't like confrontation. man.
There we go. You just said, but I'm joking. No, it's actually not. It's actually something that I'm sure you're also dealing with a lot of the work that you do, and that's being a Mozambican, living in Mozambique, but doing a lot of your content in English. Which is kind of like similar to what we're going through with a lot of different audiences that listen to this.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I definitely feel different from how I used to feel in the beginning, because making content in Portuguese used to limit me. It still does kind of limits me a lot, because I'm more comfortable speaking in English than in Portuguese. I think English is a much easier language. Portuguese is very hard and stuff like that. So I used to feel like, if you want my best content, then accept that it's gonna be in English. But the problem for me now, like all my videos from now on my Instagram are gonna be in Portuguese, because the reality for me, I don't know if this applies to you. Like, the reality for me is that here in Moz, Instagram and Facebook especially, is a lot bigger than YouTube, right?
Yeah.
When companies come to you, us creators, they have an opportunity for you. They're talking about Instagram and Facebook. Very rarely, at least I've never had an opportunity for YouTube. Some people have. So what was happening with me is that I wasn't gaining a lot of followers on Instagram, because I had a lot of content in English, and people that didn't understand English didn't follow. So they just would watch maybe one video and leave. Estás a ver? So there's greater opportunity for me if I make videos in Portuguese. Even on YouTube, if I started making videos on YouTube, I've had a lot of comments say, bro, if you made videos in Portuguese, you would be big. And for me, the reason I continue making videos in English on YouTube is because the ceiling is a lot higher for English, if you have an English audience, than if you're in Portuguese. If it's in Portuguese, you have to tap into the Brazilian market.
That's where you can get the millions.
Yes,
Yeah, because
yes.
basically Mars, you can't really get
In Mars in
millions.
Portugal, you can't really Angola. Like, YouTube is not something that's very big yet. I mean, Portugal, there's probably people living off of YouTube, but they're not huge. So for me, I'm betting on that. It might not work. I might fail. That's why I started making videos in Portuguese, only in Portuguese on Instagram, because that's gonna be my backup. Just like, okay, if YouTube doesn't work, I'm making money with Instagram. That's working for me. So I had to face the reality that, like, if I want opportunity like this, I want this to be
your life.
Yes.
Your
So I have to
career.
accept that I live in Mozambique, so I have to adjust my strategies to como é que as cenas funcionam aqui em Mozambique. So that's how it works for me. Mas eu acho que a realidade é que se tu queres que a tua cena cresça aqui em Moz, you have to make it in Portuguese. There's no way around it, man. Like, that's just it.
It is what it is.
You have to make it in Portuguese, man. Mas I want an audience from for
Overseas.
YouTube. For YouTube,
yeah.
because once you have those big numbers, you can monetize your channel, blah, blah, blah. You can't monetize Instagram. Your opportunities are gonna come from external sources. Né? So it makes the most sense to me. In terms of my personal opinion about it, I think people care too much. Like, okay, not everything is for everyone. Então, if you are like eu não gosto que vocês fazem cenas em inglês. Okay, don't consume it. Estás a ver? Like, it's so confusing to me. Eu sempre penso, tipo, se tu entras numa loja, right? E nessa loja tem coffee de Zandamela. But you hate coffee de Zandamela. You're not gonna call the manager, dizer, tirem lá esse coffee daqui, senão eu não volto. You're just gonna ignore that. Estás a ver? So if out of 100 podcasts, one of them is in a language that you don't like, listen to other podcasts. Estás a ver? That's what like, John, eu recebi DM once from this random girl. A huge text a dizer, tu tens que fazer vídeos em português porque eu sou a única moçambicana aqui neste
relate.
país e eu represento e tu também representas sei lá quem, então I'm like, bro, it's not that deep, man. Eu não estou aqui porque eu quero salvar a cultura. Há uma cena que Dave Chappelle said when he quit comedy, when he disappeared to South Africa, he would say, people will come up to me and be like, yo, I love what you did, man. You dropped those 50 millions. You're my hero. And it's like, bro, I don't want to be your hero. I want to be rich. I don't want to be nobody's hero. Being a hero takes
so much pressure.
Exactly. It takes a big sacrifice. I don't want to be no one's hero, man. I mean, sure, you reach a point when you become people's influences in a way. Like, people look up to you. And I believe you have a responsibility to, não posso estar aqui
to be positive and
não
whatever.
posso estar aqui a fazer maluquice. Like, people are looking at me as an example. Né? I can't be out here doing wild things. Estás a ver? I accept that. Mas at the same time, não podem vir dizer agora a tua vida tem que ser assim. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that at all.
I think it's complicated. And for me, a parte que é bocado estressante, vou falar em português.
Go on, say it.
Let these niggas know.
Talk, nigga.
Talk. The thing is, like, há discurso que eu acho que é bocado que tem que ser melhorado, que diz, tipo, não estás a falar em português ou estás a falar em inglês, ok? Não és Moçambique ou não representas Moçambique. Eu acho que esse discurso é bocado extremista e bocado errado.
Mas isso é o mundo that we're living in, bro.
Yeah, that's the world.
Extremes. It's a world of extremes.
It's a world, like you said, it's black and white. It's black and white. Mas eu acho que mas tem que ser dito, né? Eu acho que é bocado errado, porque não há. Tive um exemplo de alguém num sítio onde eu estava.
Say it.
Names, first, last, rua, social security number,
you know. But ela estava tipo, ok, como a pessoa disse, ok, tu nunca subiste o My Love, então não és moçambicano. You know what I mean? Or tu nunca subiste um chapa, não és moçambicano. You know, it's a little bit. I think it's people are trying to compete to see who is more Mozambican than the other one. You know, eu acho que é um bocadinho errado e como tu disseste, tu tens de estar aberto a tudo, tens de estar muito versátil e humble, né? Eu acho que a audiência, mas também os content creators têm que apanhar aquilo que lhes faz feliz, saber? E eu não gostaria que, like, you would be listening to our podcast and you're not happy. You know, what are you doing with your life? You should, you know. But at the same time, like, I don't want us to also do something where we are completely robotic and we're not happy too. And that's the thing. Like, I feel like it's a very difficult situation to try, because you creating the content, you got to be happy. The person listening to the content, you also got to be happy. So you got to find a middle ground, you know. And but that's the thing about, like, tu fazes isto ou não fazes aquilo, és moçambicano, não és muito moçambicano, sei lá o que, like, ok, here we go again.
Bro,
estás a perceber,
I've
né?
always had an opinion on that.
E depois já tens começado a dizer cenas que tu fizeste e coisas que já fizeste.
Listing them out. Mas
tipo, já estive lá naquele sítio, estás a perceber? É tipo, tens de ter um CV que mostra que és moçambicano. Então, I don't know. I don't really agree, mas to each his own.
Yeah, o problema é que there's, I think it's part of human nature que, like, we we need certainty. You need to feel good about things. You need certainty about stuff. And so you need to be able to explain what makes you Mozambican. Just like you hear people say, se essa pessoa te deixou por causa de distância, nunca te amou. That's not what? How? Like, that's not how it works. Like, people try to make these 100% like absolute truth statements about love. Bro, love is way too abstract para você tentar definir. The same way that se eu parar alguém e dizer, ok, o que define o Moçambique? O que define se tu és ou não és moçambicano? 100 people are going to have 100 different answers. Então nós não podemos fingir que isto e isto e isto é o que tu faz moçambicano, porque o que eu não gosto da cena de língua, de take these superficial things and make them about, you're Mozambique, é que há pessoas, por exemplo, que todo o conteúdo deles é em português, mas todas as roupas que usam estão a copiar americanos, o estilo de vida estão a copiar pessoas de fora, everything about them são cenas de estrangeiros. Porque eu falo português, és mais moçambicano do que essa pessoa que fala inglês. That's not true. Tem uma moça chamada, she's a YouTuber chamada Patricia, I have no idea how to say her last name. She is, I think she's half German. She speaks Portuguese, German, and Xangana. Tá a ver? There's a lot of people that consider themselves Mozambicans porque subiram My Love, porque fizeram whatever, mas não falam Xangana. So, mas if she makes a video in German, is she less Mozambican than you? It's ridiculous, man. I think.
E depois a cena engraçada é tipo, às vezes, quando a pessoa, when they make it, vamos dizer que essa Patrícia chega aos States, fica big.
Popular. Star.
Vão começar a dizer, é moçambicana.
She's ours.
Já querem puxar.
Man.
Então é um bocado complicado. Acho que, mas é aquela coisa, né? Nós todos estamos a aprender, mas também é preciso um bocadinho de pensamento crítico. Tipo, ok, why am I thinking this? Is this right actually or not? Even mesmo para nós, tipo, why am I thinking this way? Why do I feel this is right? Why do I feel this is wrong? And
that's a conversation that is very rare now. A lot of us don't have that conversation. The way we come to those conclusions, whether or not something is wrong or right, is what's the popular opinion online.
Yeah.
Because critical thinking is a skill. Tu não nasces a critical thinker. Tens que praticar, estás a ver? But we don't. And there's no space to do it because everything is online now. There's no... Like, tu nunca vais ver alguém que, ok, eu acredito que mulheres devem ficar na cozinha. A pessoa lê um tweet and it's like, oh, I was wrong. That never happens. Tu não vai mudar a tua opinião por causa de um tweet. It's a long conversation.
E também outra coisa que acaba acontecendo é que as pessoas vão buscar as coisas na internet que suportam a ideia delas.
Your beliefs.
Né? Tipo, se tu estás num argument, vais buscar aquilo que não vais pensar tipo, ok, estava errado, até deixar mostrar a outra pessoa que eu estava errado e que o que ela estava a dizer está certo e mais isto, aquilo para suportar like the case that they're building. Mas
there's this longest article about the story of us. Tem uma parte que ele explica que o problema of today é que we have so much freedom que tu não só procuras cenas que concordam contigo online, but you also move you also qual é a palavra que eu estou à procura? You go to the people that agree with you as well. Estás a ver? You live next to people that agree with you. You work with people that agree with you. So like if someone disagrees with you, you eliminate that person. You don't hang out with that person. Exactly. So you're never exposed to thoughts that are different from yours, but make sense. Uma cena that Cal Newport suggests as well is read books that agree with what you say, but also read really good books that disagree with you. And that's what's going to help you form your own opinion. Porque teve alguém que disse that they met someone really, really smart that supports Trump. They didn't talk to them about, okay, why? It was like, oh, you're crazy. But if they're really smart by your own admission, then there must be something
Yeah.
That, you know,
Yeah,
but
like I also know people that support Trump, but I'm always intrigued. I'm like, okay, why?
Yeah, bro,
And I try to understand. Or
yeah.
people that support Bolsonaro.
It's still crazy to me.
Yeah, it's still crazy, but
Bolsonaro, Joe,
like
what the hell?
I don't like them any less. You know, I still think they're
That's
brilliant.
important to understand because even if you gotta unravel the layers
Yeah, man.
and get into that of like understanding why to also make you also grow as a person, because I agree with you, like it helps to understand things that you don't like.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're always shutting it down, you don't grow as a person, man. You don't also
Stay stuck.
yeah, you stay stuck, and I think that's what a lot of people struggle with everywhere. I'm not just saying Moz. I think everywhere in a lot of places, like even in South Africa, you have a lot of people that stay stagnant and never move on. But I mean, just my quick opinion on the language thing. My view on that is deal with it, and that's it. If you don't like it, don't listen to it.
Yeah, man.
Move on.
It seems like such a simple thing. Like, honestly, how hard is it to not click on a podcast? Like, if you know the like that, I don't agree with. Even if you have your own, like, even if you're okay, tens razão na tua cena. Cool, you know, you don't have to come to us now. Vocês do Kubhula não podem fazer as coisas assim porque
We get those messages, by the way.
Bro,
We
hey,
do.
man, I don't know, man.
But
But I also think a lot of times also like with that, you know, it also comes from how the criticism is phrased, you know, because I think a lot of times we can get that same criticism from two different people. One person is going to say it in a very like, you know, like it's a criticism about a lot of stuff, and you know, it's a positive, negative, positive, negative, positive,
constructive.
negative, and then comes out as a positive answer. And I like those criticisms.
It's constructive.
And it makes sense to include that in there. And then you have a criticism where a person is like, hey, you have to change your podcast. It doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Porque eu não gosto.
yeah, porque eu não gosto. So there are those two types of criticisms. And that's what I want to, you know, because I feel like every criticism can even be said 1,000 times different, you know, and make sense in one of those 1,000 times, and then doesn't make sense in 999, you know. So I think there's that caveat to it too, you know. Yeah, but yeah. It is.
Yeah, I mean, people are what it is. Yeah, it is what it is. People are entitled to their things. But one thing that I do believe, though, is especially nowadays that we are in this digital and social media and all of that, is I believe that a medium like podcasts can fill that void of us connecting with each other. And the great thing about podcasts is that you can make them into anything that you want. So they can be one of the what I feel that we need to have here in Moz is maybe more podcasts touching on things like mental health, as you know, that maybe healing as well, which is something. Shout out to Wasi, you know, maybe she should do her own pod on that. But you know, you can really touch on these different topics and have these conversations, because you were mentioning there that online we can have these conversations. It's bite size, it's punchlines, it's hate, it's compliments, it's likes, it's you shouldn't have done that. Oh, amazing! I agree with you. It's like tennis.
There's a caption size, you know, like
back and forth. Da, 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 da.
Bro, you
but
don't,
then
if você viu my caption, my name big. You don't read that shit.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. So.
And I think like Instagram,
3 languages.
Yeah,
and I think Instagram does it on purpose. Like the caption size is also smaller. Like, you know, it's kind of like designed for you to just creep. You know,
bro,
but you know.
That on
So
time,
and we also need a comic podcast too.
But I don't know. Hey man, I feel like I haven't heard any. Because I feel like comics, when they make podcasts, it's when they just want to have a conversation. Does you feel? People go in expecting like, oh, Rashad. So I mean, Mark Norman has a great podcast. But it's just them telling their stories. Like, how was your weekend? So okay.
Yeah. But isn't that a part of what comedy is? Like, isn't it storytelling?
Yes,
In a way.
Maj, it's like the skill, the thing that makes a comic good is that they have studied that don't know, man, script. Let's call them the script. They have studied it, but when they share with you, it feels like they're having a conversation with you. That's where Dave Chappelle. Eu pensava que Dave Chappelle não escrevia. Because I genuinely thought he just got on stage and he's chatting with you. Hey, bro, nessa cena de. Qual foi aquele stand-up? Tem
It's
stand-up.
the one you're still trying to remember.
Bro. Yeah. Enes. And he asks someone, tipo, hey, bro, where you from? And he's like, I'm from Brooklyn.
That's the one I saw.
And then he's like,
Are you sure?
okay.
These are the ones I've got
And
of
he's
his.
like,
I don't know if it's any of those. The stand-ups.
I think it's either the bird revelation or equanimity.
Equanimity,
né? Yeah. So he's like, yeah, where you from? He's like, I'm from Brooklyn. He's like, okay. When I was 18, I performed for some gangsters in Brooklyn. I was like, was that a part of your script or? Mas
same thing happened, but when he was in SA, he was like, hey, where you from? Dude was like, I'm from Durban. He's like, oh, Durban got some gas, man.
Bro.
I was like, oh, man, it looks like he is improvising, and he tells you a 5-minute story.
Exactly, which makes me feel like, bro, você improvisa. And the story is good. It feels like it's a part of the whole thing. So, but that's the thing. Tipo, when comedians are having a conversation, it might not be that funny. And you're like, mas you're a hilarious dude. Why am I not? It's because that material was worked on for at least a year over and over. Like they think about the cadence, the timing, all of these things are fine-tuned. And you're not gonna get that on a podcast. So, but that's the goal. It's to make it feel like I'm just talking to you about my day, about something that happened. But bro, they thought about that joke over and over and over again.
No, I think what I mean by that is that, of course, I don't think we should get a show like on a podcast, but like sometimes I feel like you end up telling a joke, but like spontaneously, né? Tipo, estás a conversar com alguém. And that's the thing, like it's a conversation. Depois, like, começa a dizer, mas você está aqui. And then a joke comes out and then everybody starts laughing. Eu, tipo, gramo também de ouvir o podcast do Joe Rogan quando vai o Joey Diaz. Os caras estão a bater para depois o Joey Diaz começa uma história. Hey, man. One time when I was in New York, we had like 5 balls of coke. Começa a falar umas cenas que eles começam a rir. And then, but they're having a chat, and I think it's about that. Like, comedy is also a lot about storytelling. One thing I didn't ask you, and maybe we go around to other topics and we come back. Tu falaste que stand-up comics normally take like 1 year. Mas para tu criares content, porque eu sei que tu estás. E agora.
You're putting out stuff like twice a week.
Yeah.
Trying,
and
man.
Portuguese, English. Então, para ti, qual é o processo? Tipo, levas uma semana, 2 dias, 5 days? Eu acho que até deve estar all over, mas explica aquilo que tu achas que podes.
Well, it's important to note que eu sou muito preguiçoso. Extremamente, mano. Like it's
So you could be doing 3 in a week.
But honestly, I think at least 3 Instagram videos I could in a week.
Especially if you could get like, someone else to do like editing or other stuff.
No, I don't want to get anyone else to do the editing. That's me.
That's you.
That's me. Much what I would love to have. Like my dream right now is to have an assistant. I would love to have an assistant to just take care of everything else that's not related to creating content. I hate going to meetings, bro.
There we go. Here's anyone listening.
Yeah, if you want to be my assistant, no pay, I will pay you with hugs. Oh wait, I can't.
Jokes.
Yeah, I can't pay with hugs. I pay with jokes, and you'll get all the exclusives. Hit me up. I'd love to get an assistant that also helps me with camera. If I had someone to film me, my game would be just.
But you do
next
really well,
level.
like filming yourself, though, I must say.
I have
for,
to.
for one man
Right.
band,
For one man band.
you're already on the next
Crazy.
level.
Yeah,
Like,
I have. Just because when you.
It's crisp, and like it's all like some videos tu vês quando a câmera move, tu vês aquela cena
yeah,
assim.
but I like that.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. And some pessoa que eu gramo dessas, like, it doesn't have to be clean for me.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
it, people want this, like, okay, it needs to be polished and
Neat,
nicely
yeah.
graded
Mhm,
and looking really nice. That's not what I want from like Instagram videos and
Yeah,
stuff. Like,
yeah.
I want that shit, like,
Action.
Raw.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, mas that's a skill like tipo, it's making it look like this is just the thing for me that a lot of people need to work on, like in Moz that make sketches, is making the conversations feel natural. I think the only other person that does that well is Max. Like when you're a bunch of characters, there's a bit, it's making like, because when you're having a conversation, you've talk over each other a little bit. So like it's those tiny little things, there's a bit. So
Getting
that's
the
something.
timing right.
Yeah, that's something that I spend way too much time on. Like literally moving a clip 2 milliseconds to one side
But
or the other.
you used to do beats, you used to do music. So I'm
yeah.
did that help?
I was pretty
you?
good. I was pretty good.
Yeah, you were really good. But did that help with the creating?
Yeah, I
with
think
editing.
I think it did a lot. There's a lot of similarities. There's a lot of similarities in both the things. Like, the reason, for example, El Puto is one of the best producer in Moz, in my opinion. Eki, he makes it sound, everything sound good. Não há confusão. Yeah, não há confusão nos beats. Tu nunca sentes que alguma cena não devia estar.
Bateu com aquilo.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many instruments, what style, whatever. Estás a ver? And that's one of the things you have to do with video. It has to feel natural. Estás a ver? And that's mas yeah, there's a lot of other similarities. Mas it helped.
Yeah.
It definitely helped.
Yeah, that's really good. That's really so how long do you take to?
Sim. The question. Okay, so
It happens here.
yeah, every anima estar a conversar, mas you forget about certain questions. So, how long it takes me? It takes me, YouTube videos. Depends on the type. If I'm making the ones where I'm having a conversation, it's basically like a monologue. That takes a long time. And the biggest part of it is the writing. The writing is what takes the most amount of time. Like sometimes the writing would take like 3 days. And in 3 days, I'm working for like 4 to 5 hours on the script. I don't know how, if people, like as I said, the 8 hours, I can't do that. So it'd be like 4 to 6 hours a day. But now that I'm making skits for YouTube as well, the whole thing takes like 2 to 3 days. Mas o que acontece é isso, like são outros aspects of my life interrupt that.
Yeah.
So it ends up, one video can take a week. Estás a ver? Because I have to break it down. Mas like 2 to 3 days, like Instagram videos, John, the turnaround is quick. Because those are very short, very straight to the point. So look, I'm not trying to transmit anything. Yeah, like there was like the scripts was very quick.
Yeah, so you can bang it out. In
Yeah,
one day.
so I'm trying to start.
And also, you're a one-man band, so you don't have to rely on this guy's not coming. He's
bro.
sick today,
Shit,
so
I can't
like
imagine. I
can't
can't
record.
imagine. Hey, I can't mouse,
That's
bro.
also another thing.
Depending on other people makes things a lot very difficult. But yeah, that's how long it takes me. Like I want to start posting twice a week on YouTube, because I think the frequency is gonna help me, especially because my videos are short. We'll see if I can manage, because again, I'm very lazy. Like I don't know como é que pessoas acordam, não tem schedule, não tem routine, só fazem cenas and cenas saem. I have no idea. Like Max tells me that his best ideas come na madrugada. I'm like, what? Bro, essa cena pra mim é wild, man. Like, aí eu preciso de ter time de ir dormir, ter time de acordar, do my morning routine.
Have your breakfast.
Yes. Okay, I don't have breakfast. I'm doing intermittent fasting. Mas if I don't do my morning routine, my day is gone, John. my days gone. I would just lounge, watch YouTube, say like, okay, just because I didn't do my morning routine. So yeah.
And I think like probably one of my last questions to you is how
Last questions. Ooh, just talk about.
no, but we can keep going. I think how long are we in? Oh, we 1 hour 40 minutes right now, somewhere around there. But anyways, my question to you was you living with your parents.
Yeah.
Like, are your parents supportive of what you do? Is it like, how is that dynamic? Like,
yeah, okay.
Because you're a creative, and I'm sure there's a lot of other young creatives out there from Moz or around the world that may have, you know, parents might support, other parents might be like, dude, you got 1 year.
You're living in my house, boy. Yeah, so in the beginning, it was rough. Because, and I used to blame them a lot. Tipo, se não fosse você, eu estaria big on YouTube. It's okay, but now I understand because your parents have a job. Just ways to provide for you, make sure you're good. Say, look, okay. The way I imagine it for my parents, when I came to them and I was like, I want to make YouTube videos, is like if my son comes to me and says, eu quero ser piscador de sobrancelhas profissional. You're like, what the hell? Eu nunca ouvi. Como é que tu... You know how you can be a professional skill. You understand that.
Yeah.
Mas ele vira te dizer uma cena, eu quero ser cortador de unhas profissional. Você vai dizer, bro, what are you talking about? That's what it was like for my parents. And it's like, I don't want to be an accountant to be something that I have no idea what you're talking about. And so my job is to prove to them that this works. So the process went like, I went to a rebel phase where I was like, nah, I don't want to do accounting, whatever. My dad reasoned with me and I was like, okay, I'm going to finish this course. It took me like 7 years to finish a 4-year degree, to the point where my uncles would be like, fazer medicina. What the hell is going on? No, fazer mesmo cursos before. Mas my parents never, they kind of still don't understand what it is I want to do. Mas they were never actively against it. All they wanted is just do your course. After that, we'll allow you. I think at some point, I think in the beginning, they were like, puta aqui, essas viagens dele vão acabar. And then when they saw that they didn't, they were like, hey, John, tá nice, okay. Pelo menos acaba lá teu curso. E depois, I think after they saw that, like, I don't want to do accounting, they were like, just don't die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what we want. That's what we ask of you. So then what happened is, because you said we give you 1 year, what happened was I made a deal with them because I was trying to be understanding to them as well. So I made a deal. I was like, okay, I'm going to come back to Moz and I want you to give me a year. A year where I do my thing and I try to make it work. If it doesn't work, I'll get a job as an accountant. But if it works, you got to let me do my thing. Luckily, it's starting to work to the extent that they see that, okay, something can happen. Não vai só ter dinheiro de comprar doces. Because the first time I told my dad that, like, I don't want to be... At that time, I was still making beats. Eu queria ser producer full time. Eu disse meu cara, eu quero fazer music. And he was like, that's cute. Tipo, se dá pra tu ter dinheiro, pocket money, sei lá o que. And I was like, oh God, é isso que você pensa que é essa cena, like, mas yeah, like, now they're very supportive. Now, like, my parents wanted to, when I told them about entering the Caldo Benny challenge, they wanted to open an Instagram account to go like and comment.
That's
and I was
really
like,
nice.
You guys don't need to do that. It's to my benefit that you don't, please.
Then you leave a comment like, oh, fofinho.
My name. Yeah, mas now they're very supportive.
Nice.
I'm lucky, honestly. When it comes to parents, people, I've faced challenges, sure, but they were never like to an extreme. I have some friends that their parents, their relationship soured because their kids were like, my friends were like, I don't care, I'm doing this, and their parents were like, okay, cool, and so whatever, we're not gonna support you. You figure yourself out. And my parents were always like, listen, we'll help you. So, mas we had a few hurdles to overcome. Mas now
It's all
Yeah,
Gucci.
man.
You're very fortunate, man.
That's
I
really
am.
good.
I am.
Yeah.
I have to accept
And
that.
that allows
man.
you to focus on your craft.
Bro, it gives you a lot of freedom, man. It gives you a lot of freedom to just not be worried. One thing that I'm very lucky is that I don't have the pressure of like, I have to pay bills or I have to find ways to make money to eat. Like, I can still reject certain opportunities because it's like, this doesn't make sense to me. Because I don't need the money, estás a ver? So, yeah, I'm in a very fortunate position, for sure.
That's amazing, man. And have you ever had the situation where, like, now that your family, I would say more like extended family, not like your parents, so like cousins or aunts, uncles, who have sort of maybe seen some of your skits or maybe heard through, family always hears through another person. Tino está a fazer isso. Or like, afinal. Like, you always get like those. Has anyone sort of like at a family gathering sort of going like, okay, cool, now tell us a joke?
No.
The Kanye thing. Okay, tell us a joke.
nah, that hasn't happened yet. No, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. The only thing that does happen because todos perguntam, tipo, então, já acabaste o curso? Sim, estás a trabalhar? I always say no, porque eu não tenho job, estás a ver? Mas now I have to start saying yes, porque quando eu fui fazer o test de COVID, era uma cota espanhola. So she was asking a bunch of questions para formulário, né? What's your name? And then she goes, trabalhas? And I was like, no. She's like, okay. She continued a fazer outras perguntas, okay. Then she finishes and she's like, mas tú, em espanhol, I don't know how to speak Spanish. Tú és menino, és hombre bonito. ¿Por qué no trabalhas? I'm like, what? Porque eu sou bonito, I should have a job.
I'm a model. That's models,
maninho.
lady.
And she's
That's
like,
what models do.
Maninho, but
I just posed.
Eu só ficar à frente de my camera and take pictures. Mas, okay, well, that's not all the models do. Because they will be like, that's not our job.
No, that's all they do.
Hey, man.
I'm putting it out
You said
there.
it, not me. Mas, she was like, I was like, no, mas what I do is I make videos, estás a ver? Então, se alguém quiser usar meus serviços, they come to me. She's like, so you have a job. That's your job. And I was like, oh, that is my job. So that's the only thing that happens. That people perguntar, estás a trabalhar? Não, faço vídeos. Mas vais procurar emprego? Não. Yeah, so...
Yeah, it's really complicated. I can't and that question is always,
Bro, I remember one time I was leaving Iki's house. E tava tio dele ali. And he saw my tattoo. Yo, como é que tu fazes uma coisa dessa? Tu nunca vais arranjar bom emprego. I'm like, yo, my dad is right here. He let me do this thing. So who are you to come tell me, yeah, now? Like, relax, we got this.
And you're playing it.
Yeah, I'm in my head, no, dude. So, I mean, it is what it is. Mas essa cena que estás a dizer de models. Gostei dos models.
Bring it back.
Yeah, no, because it's interesting. Sabes, uma cena that I've been learning throughout my life é que when you see someone that is good at what they do, doing their thing, you think it's easy.
It's not easy.
Yeah, but you feel like it's easy. Like, I think that there's this inherent human thing where you're like, it's the football effect. Like, como é que esse banana não conseguiu marcar esse gol à frente da baliza? Até eu podia marcar esse gol aí. No, you couldn't. Like, it's hard to be in that position. What happens a lot with what I do is people see me making the videos and then they have to make a video themselves for something random. And they're like, eu tinha que editar vídeo, eu só tenho que cortar. Como era difícil, eu não sei como é que você consegue fazer. And I'm like, afinal, it looks easy, but it's not. Like, you don't understand podcasting.
Until you do it, you won't ever understand.
Podcasting seems like you just chega aqui, fala, vais para casa. But like, there's a lot of intricacies that you can't even imagine. I just think that's something interesting. How like anything you see, you don't understand how hard it is until you try it yourself.
And I think the problem with that is just with, social media, how we want things quickly, that we tend to oversimplify things.
Yeah,
and,
man.
And we think that anyone can be whatever, anyone can be like a a business, whatever. Anyone can be like being a soccer player is easy,
Bro,
or being
relationships are the biggest victims of social media, man.
yeah.
You think that, bro, eu sou chegar, man, ter minha dama, toma saca pics, all day, tamo good, meu irmão.
End of story.
Hey, done. Yeah, and now it's rough out here in the streets, bro. But
Yeah,
it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah,
you
it
know?
is what it is.
Mas you never get that on Instagram. You never see people showing you, bro. This relationship thing, me and my girl, we go through struggles. Nah, it's just beautiful meals, me giving breakfast in bed, you know, blah 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 blah. And,
Always smiles.
yeah, man, tá já ver? It's like, oh.
It's always It's like
Nothing
you
is
got
that
your real
easy.
life and then you got your Instagram life.
Yeah, bro. Like, I have a complicated relationship with Instagram because I hate it because of what it does to you. Tá já ver? It creates these unrealistic expectations. So I try not to follow a lot of people because if I was super addicted to Instagram, John. Like I would spend a lot of time on it. And then I heard about Cal Newport.
Deep work.
Yes. Now, the first book I read from him was So Good They Can Ignore You.
Oh, okay.
And then he got into deep work and digital minimalism. And I was
Minimalism.
like, oh, this thing is, social media thing is
The devil.
yeah, bro. Tá já ver? So it got to the point where I couldn't delete my Instagram because, you know, it's my work. It's why I don't post pictures. I don't post anything about my personal life. It's just that is business. Tá já ver? I just post the videos and I'm done. So, but I would spend so much time on it. The only solution I could think of was unfollowing everyone. Then I didn't have anything on my feed, and that worked perfectly. However, uma cena que aconteceu foi I thought I had unfollowed everyone. Voltei pra Moz, and my sister was like, você não segue a mim? Não segue a teu irmão? Mas segue Dani. Dani é uma nossa vizinha. This is like, as irmãs dizem, qual é a tua cena? O que vocês não gostam de nós? Like, Dani é que é the only person in your life that matters. And Dani was there and I was like, I'm sorry, I have to unfollow you too. Like, that's the only solution. I can't follow my siblings. I have to unfollow you too. Because, now I'm slowly getting back to, I'm following like 80-something people. And that alone, bro, like I'm using Instagram. I have to, like when I post, I delete it because if I have it on my I delete it. I only use I try. Okay, this week has been disastrous, my Instagram usage, but I only use it on Wednesday because that's usually the day I post, and on the weekends. On the weekends, I go insane, man. Instagram is complicated for me. Like my goal one day is to just delete it. Like I don't want to have anything to do with it.
Really.
Have you watched Social Dilemma?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
I have. I've been
to watch it.
an evangelist of it to a lot of my friends to the point where I stopped talking about it because I feel like I'm becoming annoying.
Yeah.
So, I watched it.
I actually need to watch it. Yeah.
No, it's good. Watch it.
Yeah,
Watch
I need to watch
It's
it.
pretty good.
It serves you a lot. Serves you a lot. Well, and then you must try and find like I think there's 1 or 2 podcasts that then talk about what the sort of like aftermath of that debates on. Yeah, they talk about it. They talk about it from I can't remember what the pod's called. See, we all forgetting different things.
Guys,
today.
come on, man.
But they talk about like the pros and cons. Like, is everything they said on there like true and like all of that? They give a chance for like the Silicon Valley giants to talk about.
That's really nice.
It's like seeing it from both sides because I think, like we've been saying on this episode, it's like it's a world of extremes now.
Yeah.
And more people will be like, they'll watch something like Social Dilemma and be like, everything they said there is true now.
Burn Instagram.
Yeah, burn it to the ground. Don't use it. You gotta
Yeah.
also understand it from another way, and you forget that like a lot of businesses rely on those programs, man, on those apps. Let's be honest, you know.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, if you look at it, Instagram as a thing, it's kind of like a photo book, you know, but like online that you can post pictures and then da mesma maneira nossos cotas tinham tipo photo books, agora já não temos tanto, mas age eu acho que tu tens por causa do for your family, you know, wedding, daughter, mas tipo é tipo um photo book, estás a perceber?
I have an online one. It's an actual app.
Yeah. You showed me that one, but it's kind of like a photo book that anyone that you're allowed to see can see it. Então, that's really what it is.
Yeah.
But I think because we have likes and we have comments, that shifts the
Yeah.
conversation.
It transformed into something completely different.
Yeah.
Porque Instagram is a very aggressive business. Estás a ver, like, there's a lot of, from an investor's perspective, there's a lot of expectations, man. Estás a ver? And those niggas have to deliver. So the problem with Instagram is that because you are the product, they use whatever tactics they can to make sure that the product is the best that it can be. So how are you the best product you can be? Is if you spend more time on Instagram. Estás a ver? So they do whatever they can to make sure that you stay on the app. Whether that's positive, detrimental for you, doesn't matter. Estás a ver? As long as you're scrolling.
Yeah.
That's all. And that is the problem. Because Instagram itself is not evil.
Yeah.
It's what it does to
The
you.
engineering that
There's a very, all these things are done by design.
algorithms.
And like they try to pretend like, oh no, but we're meant to be like that. That's exactly what they want. It's for you to spend the most amount of time. And bro, it works, man. Like I think my extension on Chrome, I think it's called remove recommended, whatever. I don't know. But it just removes the recommended section of YouTube, and those videos que aparecem on the side changed the game. The amount of time I spend on YouTube has reduced. Só por causa disso, the guy that suggested the recommended part of the front page is rich. See, that's all he did. I mean, okay, obviously there's probably more he did. But it's like, that's how valuable that is because it keeps people on the website. And that's the biggest issue because YouTube is invaluable, man. That thing is crucial to our existence at this point.
Yeah, it's part of the infrastructure right now.
Yeah.
It's so big that you can't really do anything.
Yeah, I mean, you just gotta
Yeah,
accept that it's part of the
like
game.
it's like when companies become so big that no matter what happens, they keep going. Just like when they discovered that HSBC was laundering money for the cartels, and it's like, oh my gosh, HSBC. Yes, HSBC is still going today.
Yeah, man.
It's
what
like
are you
it's
gonna
too
do,
big of
bro?
a institution
Yeah,
to
to
crumble,
like
to lose.
exactly.
yeah. They can't afford to let it get to that.
Yeah. Tino, online, you're on Insta, of course, as you mentioned, and you're on YouTuber, which we'll put
Yes.
descriptions
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people
All Tino
that-
Bacela.
people that don't know you.
Yeah, check me out.
Definitely, you should
Mhm.
definitely check you out. And I mean, you for me, like I'm very impressed by what you do. Sure, we all are here at Kubhula. Marcio's not here as well. He's a big fan
Hey, thank you,
of
Marcio.
what you're putting out, man.
Yeah,
and,
man.
and we love these stories like that of people coming on here, and you're putting yourself out there. That already takes a big guts to do that. And you're building your brand, and you're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna
course.
have challenges and all of that. But I think from Kubhula, we just want to let you know that like what you're doing is something really special, man. And
Hey, thanks,
and you
man.
should keep doing it. Should keep pushing. Just before I forget, have you ever sent your stuff to like Comedy Central? Because
No.
Comedy Central is in South Africa.
No, I didn't even know you could send stuff to them.
Yeah, okay, we'll chat offline. But
Yeah.
you apparently you can. I may know someone. I don't know if they still work for Viacom, which is. But yeah, it's something to because you mentioned earlier about the fact that you're doing a lot of skits in English. And I think 100% it opens you up to like a big
Different
market.
markets, yeah.
Sky's the limit.
Yeah.
But I also think it's great that you're also balancing that with the Instagram videos on Instagram videos on Instagram. What are you talking about, H? But yeah, it's good to have that balance. So yeah, sky's the limit for you, man.
Yeah, man.
And you should keep going.
I think you're really doing great stuff. And
thanks.
vocês têm uma geração agora de comedians, new generation, que acho que vocês vão fazer cenas muito nice e cada um está a explorar a sua avenida, né? Há gajos que estão a fazer mais no WhatsApp, há gajos que estão a fazer mais no Instagram, há gajos que estão a fazer no YouTube, nem Mike. I know him very well, também é um gajo muito nice, gosto das edições que ele faz dos vídeos. your editing is also stepped up a lot.
Yeah.
Vocês estão, you guys are really in a great direction. E pá, eu acho que nós vamos ter muita coisa a acontecer. Vocês vão desenvolver esse espaço and you guys gonna lay the foundation for the next generation.
Yeah, man. What I'm not looking forward to is being 39 and seeing like 18-year-old Mozambican comedians, now online comedians, making millions. And I'm like, vocês nos meus tempos, quando eu comecei, nós fazíamos migalhas. Yeah,
It was
bro.
like that.
You don't want to be the grumpy.
Yeah, but I hope that I'm at least living good off of comedy, because the worst thing for me is like I hope I don't offend anyone out there, mas tipo, I don't want to fail acabar jogando num banco e ser alguém que people come through and like, hey bro, conhece esse gajo é pertinho, é Tino Bacela, o gajo era maninho mal these times, bro. Agora o gajo joga aqui, mas esse gajo me inspirou, eu agora sou o que eu sou por causa desse gajo. And they're miserable, like, oh, whatever, I don't care. So, but yeah, man, I hope
That's what happened to me, man. Jeez, what are you talking about? No, I'm joking. I'm not miserable.
Bro,
I'm actually
there's
very happy.
I was talking to Blanco a few weeks ago. We were at Lobolo, and I was telling them that, like, oh, I'm scared. And he's like, bro, that's me. And I was like, oh, well, now y'all know, you know what I mean, though. So, yeah, that was a little awkward.
But 100%. And you shouldn't set your expectations low. Your story is not going to be like anyone else's story. Your story is the Tino Bacela story, and you're going to do what you got to do in order to reach your goals, your dreams.
Yeah, man.
You know, and I think a lot of people spend a lot of time caring about other people's opinions, and they shouldn't. You know, you're the only one that controls your destiny. So
True.
So you should definitely.
No, you're really
going.
in a good way, in a good journey right now, and keep going, man. If you ever want to talk to us, doors are open. Come through, hit us up. You have my number, you have Age's number. We here for you, man, to support you, man.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know where to go to. www.kubhula.com. I love doing this.
Let's go.
You can get all these episodes, including number 40, which you're listening to right now. Very special thanks to our guest, Tino Bacela.
Hey, man, thank you guys for having me. Thank you guys for
making us part of your morning routine.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you guys for sticking with me, because we've been trying to make this happen. So I appreciate that.
It's on
the
God's
patience.
time, man.
Thank you for that, man. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, man.
Yeah,
It was
couldn't
fun.
have been better, man.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Marcio as well. We got B City Zone. KK in the building.
In the building. You guys gonna be hearing my voice a little bit more in the next few weeks.
Glad to have you home. And thank you to everyone for the comments. Thank you to everyone for listening to Kubhula. We really appreciate it. We appreciate you. And until next week.
Yeah.
Ouch.